Yeah, beat your addiction, live free. Ralf Friedrichs is who you see. Listen in when you're feeling low. Take back your life, today's show. Beat your addiction, live free. Ralf Friedrichs is who you see. Listen in when you're feeling low. Take back your life, today's show. Stay positive, hope, and keep faith. Stand strong against any odds that you face. Put away the alcohol and the drugs. Fill your time with the things you love. Addiction is tough, but it's worth the work. Treat your body what it's worth. Spread positivity, inspire all. If we stand together, we will never fall. I help others see the other sides to life. A sober life, letting go of the strife. So give me a call, I can help. 1-844-4405-HELP. Homeless shelters, hospitals, jails, wherever you are. I am Ralf Friedrichs and I am here for you. 1-844-405-HELP. Yeah, change your future, starts today. Live life to the fullest, never skip a day. Create hope, spread positivity. Beat your addictions and negativity. Ralf Friedrichs is here for you. Call today so we can help you. 1-844-405-HELP. 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 We are here for you. Call us today.
Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back Today show with me, Ralf Friedrichs. Today I want to talk about a subject that's very important to discuss, I guess is the proper word for this, and that is depression. And I want to give you 7 telltale signs of depression for a friend, if you notice a friend or a loved one. These are 7 telltale signs. I'm sorry. It is still early here in the Hamptons, Long Island, New York, and I am now going to get myself ready for the show. Time to wake up, Ralph. It is early in the morning. But, like I said, we're going to discuss the 7 telltale signs of depression in a friend or a loved one. But first, like I did yesterday, I want to read you this. How does it feel to be addicted to, whether it be drugs, alcohol? How does it feel to be addicted to anything? How do you find help? If you're watching me and you are addicted to somebody, to something, you might relate to this. But let me tell you how it feels. As an addiction recovery coach, let me share this about substance abuse. And let me be crystal clear. I want to leave an everlasting impact upon you, my audience. Imagine you're buried alive. Let's say you're in a coffin, but you also know that you're not dead in that coffin. You don't know how to open your coffin and push that enormous weight of the dirt that's on the lid above you. You think of giving up and you just want to wait for death to arrive. But you also think banging on the coffin so that maybe you will unsettle the ground above you, and then maybe, just maybe, someone will notice and start digging the way down to you to help you. This is what it's like to find yourself at the lowest point of alcohol and or drug addiction. You know you need help, you know you can't do it completely on your own, yet you don't know how to get that help that you so desperately need. In reality, there are people who can help you standing nearby your grave, but you don't know that. You think you're going to die there. Usually, though, people don't think of death when they are habitually using drugs. In order to feed an addiction, you have to be good at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind by abusing drugs and alcohol that you might just overdose? With this, I leave you with one other thought, folks. Don't be that person in the coffin banging for someone to hear you. This is the reason I do this show, is for you to call to Take Your Life Back Today show at 1-844-405-HELP, and I will help you take your life back before your life is gone. Remember, a sober today promises you a better tomorrow. Give a shout out to give a shout out to Larry Geis from the Geis Academy, 516-485-2741. 516-485-2741. I do want to give a quick shout out to a good friend, my professor, Dr. Luis Gonzalez. If you're watching me, hello, I hope all is well for you. Let's go back to Larry Geis from the Geis Academy. You can go and Google him at www.odysseyconsultant.org. You can give him a call at 516-485-2741. Larry Geis is an addiction recovery coach. He is a life coach. He will work with you from today and tomorrow. Like myself, not that we don't care about you, but it doesn't matter where you've been, folks. What matters most is where you're going. That is what matters most, and that's what matters most to Larry Geis. Give him a call at 516-485-2741, and when you speak to him, let him know that you heard about him on the Take Your Life Back Today show with me, Ralf Friedrichs. GlobalEyeglasses.com, they are focused on saving you money, folks. You need frames. They have plastic and metal and rimless. They have full, half, and no frame. Women's, children's, and men's frames. They have lenses such as progressives, line bifocal, round bifocals. They have transitions, photochromatics, and polarized lenses. They have coatings like regular tint, UV, anti-reflecting coating. Hydrophobic lenses. They have thin lenses, high index. In all indexes, you have 1.56, 1.60, 1.67, 1.74. All available at a fraction of the cost of a freestanding store, a brick and mortar location in maybe your hometown, about 70% less. But the only way you're going to get those savings, folks, is to go to www.globaleyeglasses.com, or you can get a hold of me. I have over 30 years experience in the optometry business. You can text me at 631-599-0218. You can call me at 844-405-HELP. Make the move today for new glasses. I want to see you get new glasses from globaleyeglasses.com. 7 telltale signs of depression in a loved one or friend. This video has been produced to assist the viewers, you, in observing signs of depression in a friend or loved one. Here is what I recently read, written by a doctor in the Mayo Clinic. As a young couple, a young couple I have treated for some time came into my office recently. Lisa was angry with Justin because he had been, in her opinion, distant and involved and unloving towards her in the recent weeks. No matter how hard she tried to please him, nothing seemed to work. And she began to wonder whether he had lost interest in her. After I asked Justin certain key questions, it became very clear to me that he had gradually become depressed and, in doing so, had lost interest in pretty much everything that had previously given him pleasure, including his wife. Once Justin's depression was adequately treated, he became the warm, loving, and attentive man with whom Lisa had fallen in love with and chosen to spend her life with. This was written by a doctor in one of his notes from the Mayo Clinic. There are some important lessons to this story. First, depression is not always obvious. It can masquerade as something else, in the case, lack of interest in your partner. Second, it is valuable for friends or loved ones to learn the telltale signs of depression so that they can offer as help early in the process as possible, because depression is a painful condition both for the person suffering it and for the loved ones around this particular person. So, here are 7 telltale signs of depression that will help you determine if your loved one, your friend, is developing depression. Number 1 is lost interest in things that were previously pleasurable, like the case in Lisa and Justin. Sometimes this loss of pleasure, also known as anhedonia, may not be complete. So your loved one may gravitate only to those things that are easily enjoyed and require the least amount of effort, such as playing video games, sitting in front of the TV, or surfing the web. This readily leads to thoughts or comments such as, "You have plenty of time and interest for surfing the web, but not when it comes to spending quality time with me." Engaging with another person and meeting the person's needs require more effort than surfing the web, and therefore may be an early sign of depression. Number 2, sleep difficulties. This may take form of trouble falling asleep or waking up during the night or the early hours in the morning. You may find your loved one in another room trying to while away the time. This may disrupt your own sleep and may feel like you were abandoned, and leading you to say things like, "Not only isn't he or she available for me during the day, but not even at night anymore." Again, it is important not to take this symptom personally, but recognize it for what it is, an early sign of depression. Number 3, eating changes. Too early or too much, with the corresponding weight changes in the expected direction, a husband, for example, can readily become angry with his wife and blame her for eating too much and gaining weight, misinterpreting the symptom as a sign that she no longer cares as much as about her intimate life and is therefore letting herself another sign of depression. Number 4, anger and irritability. A depressed person struggles to get through the day. Ordinary obstacles and challenges become more difficult and can lead to frustration and the feelings that go along with that. This, my friends, is another telltale sign of depression that is easily taken personally. It's a clear sign for possible depression. Number 5, expressing negative thoughts. You might feel enthusiastic about something and your friend or your loved one might come back with a downer of a response, such as, "I don't think that will amount to anything," or "What does it matter? It makes no difference to me or to anyone else." Such negative thoughts are a cardinal symptom of depression, yet sometimes they feel almost calculated to throw a dampener on things. The depressed person is not trying to make life difficult for others, even though it is often the effect of depressive thoughts and utterances. Number 6, and this is a huge one, folks. Pay attention to this one. Suicidal ideas. These may take a passive form such as, "I don't care if I live or if I die," or a more active form such as, "Sometimes I feel like driving a car off the road." Always take such statements very seriously, friends. There is a common myth that a person is really suicidal. They don't tell others about it. But do they? By this erroneous logic, if a person is telling you about it, you might mistakenly conclude that they won't actually do it. Nothing could be further from the truth. Not only are such statements key elements of depression, which warrants treatment on its own right, but they suggest that such treatment is urgent. It needs to be addressed immediately. Number 7, loss of confidence in oneself and optimism about the future is a sign of depression. Depressed people feel poorly about themselves and their future. If your friend or loved one is usually more self-confident and optimistic, and this then changes suddenly, suspect depression. If you detect one or more of these signs in a friend or a loved one, you may want to look up a more comprehensive list of symptoms for a major depression in the Standard Manual for Psychiatric Conditions, otherwise known as the DSM/IV. Once you suspect depression, do encourage your friend or loved one to seek consultation and treatment with a qualified person, not only for his or her sake, but for yours. Sometimes it can also be helpful and comforting for you to offer to go with the person to seek consultation. Folks, depression is a huge, huge problem in the United States, in the world. People become depressed over things like financial obligations, relationships. Depression can also come from losing a loved one. Could come from having health issues. Depression can come from anywhere, from every angle, from anywhere, at any time. It is important that you know how to pick up on any signs of depression. And these 7 signs that I'm going to go through briefly, real quickly again, are important. Number 1, loss of interest in things that were previously pleasurable. You and your husband always had a great relationship, great communication, and always active together. And suddenly one of you have lost total interest. You kind of go separate ways. That is a sure sign of depression. Sleep difficulties. You or your husband or a loved one or friend gets up in the middle of the night to go surf the web or to watch TV. Sleeps during the day a lot, gets up at night. That is a sure sign of depression. Eating changes. Too little or too much with the corresponding weight changes in expected direction. A husband, for example, can readily become angry with a wife who's suddenly eating too much. She might be depressed, and she doesn't care about her body. She has no interest in anyone, and that is a sign of depression. Anger and irritability. A depressed person struggles to get through the day. Ordinary obstacles and challenges become more difficult and can lead to frustration and feelings that go along with those frustrations. This is another telltale sign of depression that is and can be taken personally. Expressing negative thoughts, another big one. You might feel enthusiastic about something and your friend or loved one might come back with a downer. Remarks like, I don't think it will amount to anything, or another remark like, what does it matter? And if it really gets to a stage where this depression is kicking in, they might say things like, I really don't care. Nothing matters to me anymore. That is a sign of depression. This is why I emphasize positivity. The negativity can and will kill you. Which goes to number 6. If the negativity can't kill you, you might do it to yourself due to suicidal ideas, due to depression. These may take passive forms such as, I don't care if I live or die, or more active forms such as, sometimes I feel like just driving my car right off a cliff. Always take such statements very seriously. There is a common myth that a person is really suicidal. They wouldn't tell you about it, but that's far from the truth. If you have a friend, if you have a loved one that makes a remark like, I don't care if I live or die, or I just feel like taking my car and running off, take that very seriously and suggest that they get treatment urgently. And sometimes it even makes it easier for them if you tag along with them. Loss in confidence in oneself. An optimism about the future, sign of depression. Depressed people feel poorly about themselves and the future. If your loved one or your friend, one is usually more self-confident and optimistic, and then suddenly this changes, suspect depression. Do not question it. If you detect one or more of these 7 signs in a friend or a loved one, you may have to look up a more comprehensive list of symptoms for a major depression in the Standard Manual of Psychiatric Conditions, otherwise known as the DSM/IV. Folks, you can find that probably in your local library. You definitely can Google it. You might even find it on Amazon. Once you suspect depression, do encourage your friend or your loved one to seek consultation and treatment with a qualified person, not only for his or her sake, but for your sake. Sometimes it can also be helpful and comforting for you to offer the person that needs to go seek that consultation to tag along with them, to be that crutch that they desperately need, to show that you care and you love for them. Don't let your friend or your loved one consistently and constantly show one of these signs, if not all these signs, and for you or anyone else around you not to pick up on these signs, because depression, when it leads to number 6, suicidal thoughts, has gotten to a point where you might be too late. Pick up on the signs, read about depression, educate yourself about depression. I always say this on a lot of my shows, that educating yourself about alcoholism, about drug addiction, about depression, suicide, the list can go on forever. The educating of yourself in all these different topics is your best weapon on helping your friend and your loved one. Folks, I tell you this all the time, and I will tell you once again, for the people that have not heard me say this, but are sober today, I promise, I guarantee, will give you automatically a better tomorrow. If you stay sober today, into tonight, go to bed sober, when you wake up tomorrow morning, start that process again. Your days are going to get better. This is the reason they say 24 hours at a time, because if I just became sober today, I don't want to shoot for next week to stay sober. It's just too much to handle. I want to shoot on, let me survive today, tomorrow's another day. Get away from the negativity. You see how negative thoughts could lead to depression. Depression signs gives negative thoughts. When you think positive, you get positive results. Treat your children with respect, compassion, love, and you will get the same in return. Lead by example by not smoking in front of them, drinking in front of them, using profanity in front of them. And never, ever, ever resort to physical violence to your loved one, your spouse, or your children. Let today be the first day, folks, of your new life. Let today be the day where you call me at 844-405-HELP, and I will help take your life back. I hope to God, no matter where you are watching me, it could be in jail, in prison, you're incarcerated for mistakes you have made, but if you're watching me and you have made those mistakes and you are serving the time and you're paying back society, it doesn't matter where you've been. It matters where you're going. If you're in a homeless shelter, it doesn't matter where you've been yesterday. It matters where you are now and where you're going. Pick yourself up and make those changes. Somehow you can make a change to get better. If you're in a nursing home, think about the positive things. Think about quality time with fellow people at the nursing home. Think about the quality time you'll have with your visitors, maybe your children, your grandchildren. Folks, it doesn't matter what happened yesterday to you. Yes, it matters when we think about all the bad things that could have happened. But it's not going to change by stressing over it. What does matter is what did we learn from yesterday and how do we apply that to today to make it better tomorrow. That is what's important, folks. I hope to God, no matter where you are watching me, that you have a sober rest of your life. You have a great rest of your life. And you continuously watching me. And make that first call by 844-405-HELP or text me at 631-599-0218. And I, folks, will help you take your life back. And may God bless you.
Yeah, the show is over, but your life starts today. Taking back your life's the only way. Keep faith, stay positive, push through. Take back your life, it starts with you. Alcohol and drugs can't control your life. Let go of the negative and the strife. Ralf Friedrichs is the man guiding your way. The show is over, but your life starts today. Call Ralf Friedrichs at 1-844-405-HELP. That's 1-844-405-HELP. We hope you love the show today and tune in next time. Take back your life, today's show with Ralf Friedrichs. Yeah.